Good morning and welcome to What's New with Mike and Jeff, your Saturday morning hobby hangout coming to you live via the interwebs. I'm your host, Mike, and with me is the boomer himself, Jeff.
Boomer.
Yeah, buddy, wear it proudly.
I do.
I don't know. So you read me the shirt before you got started.
Right. We read it
I
again.
experienced all those things, but I don't think I'm classified as a boomer yet.
If you were born in after 1964, you are a Gen Xer.
Okay, I'm born in 70.
So
So,
you're a Gen Xer.
yeah, so I need to get
I'm a boomer because I was born in '63.
I guess we get to add a little bit more to that shirt. Good morning, Tim. We get to add in the invention of computers and dealing with that aspect
Yep.
of life, and most importantly, Pong. The best game of
Ever made? I
all
remember.
I still remember many hours with my brothers sitting in a room with these stupid little controllers, just hitting a stupid ball back and forth. And for whatever reason, that provided us hours of entertainment.
Yep.
And I don't think this new generation could tolerate that for longer than a few seconds.
Yeah.
Going, what's the point? There is no
Mine was.
point.
I started with pinball, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
console games started coming out. I mean, I was playing Space Invaders for a long time.
Oh, the old Atari.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
buddy.
actually, that was first one I played was on a console in the bar my parents owned. So,
Good morning, Joe. You still identify as a boomer, not a Gen Xer. All
you
right.
can't identify the boomer unless you're born before '64.
Yeah, you can identify as anything these days, so go
Yeah,
for
that's the scary part.
it. So how you been?
I'm doing all right. Doing all
Uh,
right. So
we missed last week's show. Your technology failed you.
my
Um,
we have been under one storm after another, thunder, lightning. We're getting ready. From my understanding, there's going to be some hurricanes running up the East Coast here pretty quickly.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we didn't have any. It didn't have any internet. So yeah.
Well, I had my power go out. Was it Thursday night? So we rarely have our power go out over here,
Sure.
simply because they went to putting everything underground versus putting up power lines and stuff
Right.
like that. So we rarely have our power go out, and we're sleeping. And I wake up just sweating, and my house is just dead dark. Like there's nothing. The ceiling fan's off. I'm like, what the hell happened? Immediately, I'm thinking, oh, we must have tripped a breaker or something like that, because we have a portable AC unit in the bedroom.
Right.
Because we like the bedroom to be super cold when we sleep. So we added in a portable, because there's no reason to cool my whole house down if I'm just sleeping in a bedroom.
Yeah, I go. Absolutely.
So sometimes we trip the breaker, especially if it's raining or anything like that. So I got up to go check the breakers. Whole house is dark. I'm like, this ain't a breaker. So I go outside, and there's something weird about going outside at night when the power's out,
Oh, it's
because
different.
you can see pretty much clearly from the moonlight, and you don't have all of that other light causing you not to be able to see in the dark.
Yeah.
So it was that eerie feeling like watching a scary movie or something like that, where I could see fine and it was just dark. And it
If
was,
you the best example I ever had of that was when because I grew up in a small town. I've been in town. I mean, I wasn't. I'd be on the farm and stuff, but until I actually was, where was I at? Somewhere out in Nebraska, out in the middle of nowhere, and I saw the difference in the sky at night when I was out with no other light source around me,
yeah,
looking at the sky versus when I'm standing, like when I was standing in I can't think of the name of the town now, but in a town in Nebraska,
yeah.
and the just the ambient light does a lot to change perception.
And it's just eerie. It's
It
just
is.
like, whoa, this is different. And it was just like, all right, because you don't have any of the street lights on, you don't have everybody's porch lights on, you don't have people's like window lights on. Everybody was just out.
Yep.
So except one house. One house had their porch lights on. I'm like, how are your porch lights working
They
there?
may have a generator.
Generator or they're battery operated in some.
Yep.
I'm just like, that's weird. Everybody else's house is dark except yours. They could. I think there is some technology with battery backups for homes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, hopefully one day, if they could really harness that battery backup concept with smaller space taken up to hold batteries, that will really make solar more popular. Because right now solar at night goes away and then you go
Yep.
right back to the grid. But if they could charge up a battery pack and really keep your house going, I don't know how long a battery pack would last with an AC, but one day.
I'm slowly switching over to the fact we should just go to all technology, light,
Agreed.
everything. Just go back. Now that being said, if I had to survive on my own, I'd be dead in a week. But that's fine.
Well, when you look at our lives, like you and I, Joe, Tim, we all kind of grew up in a world where we didn't have streaming channels and cable wasn't around yet. Cable in Arizona didn't come around for not until the 80s.
I didn't have cable in my hometown until 1991.
Yeah, so cable didn't come around.
Now I wasn't living there anymore, but that's when my mom and dad got cable.
But our lives, like even when I got a computer, like in the 2000s, isn't when I got my first home computer. Even then, my life was still a little bit simpler because I wasn't tethered to a cell phone,
Right.
and nothing was at my fingertips. Like you still had to go to a computer at the end of your day to go check your email. You couldn't access it through the internet. Like you had to do different things. But my life was simpler. I'll say that much.
Yeah, but the cool part is on the other side of the coin, we get a lot of cool stuff to hobby with now that we never had before.
And we get to do this. We get
Yes.
to come on the internet and stream with everybody and keep our hobby community together. I
Yeah,
think this is going to be important, especially in the local area, with IOG closing, trying to keep that group of individuals together
yeah,
on a kind of a common ground where we can talk and share about the hobby because everyone's going to kind of splinter
yeah.
and go off in their own little different directions. So
Well, that's the good part about technology. Like for example, my friendship with Mark is 100% founded and based on internet. I mean, we
yeah.
wouldn't have met had it not been for the internet. Actually, been for video gaming, and he and I still connected. Darren and I have remained friends, because this is our form of communication. So it's kind of a double edged sword.
Yeah.
In the fact that sometimes there are many times I'm like, why do I carry my phone around as if it's like my life preserver? Because when I was a kid, I'd leave the house, I'd drive my car, I'd be gone for a day or a day and a half, and the only way I could reach my parents is I had to stop, find a payphone.
Nothing was important.
Yeah. So,
Like nothing was that urgent that I had to check my email 5 times a day
yeah.
um, to see. And all I get in emails the same as when I get my snail mail. It's just advertisement and junk.
Yep.
So anywho,
So,
we'll stop being boomers for a little bit. I saw our view count go up, but as we were talking boomer stuff,
yeah. That's fine. We don't do this for viewers. We do it because
no.
it gives you a chance chat, and that's pretty much it. So, yeah. What have you been working on hobby wise?
I've been trying to clear my desk. So we're
Oh,
gonna do this is going to be a photo show because we're a little bit behind. Maybe it's
yeah.
gonna
We've got. I think we're at 59 photos.
yeah, but I've been trying to clear my desk. I finished the core of my Mordheim army. I just finished my Conan-esque model. Conan-esque model. Can't call it Conan, but sure looks like Conan. And I am now finishing up my CUDA.
Right.
I just glued the motor in and I did some work on the headers because I wanted the headers to look kind of old and rusty. Like the whole concept behind this is somebody that fixed the car up, but it's not a show car because I made so many mistakes painting this model. I'm so glad I bought a second copy of the model.
Right.
Because when I was gluing the glass in, I got a glue string right across the front windshield, and it just ruined the windshield because I tried to clean it and it didn't work. Like once you get glue on clear, Robert the Handsome. What's up, Robert?
Oh, I have no idea who Robert the Handsome is.
or Rob the Handsome. Sorry, is that Rob? He's because it's coming through YouTube.
I don't know. I do not know.
Oh well, hello, Rob the Handsome. Anyways, so I got a string. I tried to clean it, made it a mess, so I popped it out, put in another one, did the exact same thing again. But I didn't clean it. It's just yes, it's Rob. It's just a little string across the front windshield, and I screwed up the back windshield. So, but I had louvers for the back windshield, so I covered that. Just clear glass is hard. I should have just used the Elmer's glue like everybody else did.
I'd rather not at this point, Rob. I don't really. I do have a reputation to keep.
So anyway,
I don't know what that reputation is, but
so I'm trying to wrap this one up. I finished a Gundam model. We'll show that off in the photo session. I have to admit, I'm having a lot of fun with Gundam models.
I saw that.
They are fascinating. The newer ones, like older Gundam models, they were okay, but the newer ones, the stuff that they've been putting out more recently, have really stepped up the game. Even Andy is building a Gundam model now.
Oh, that's cool.
So she's watched me. I watch like review videos to find out which kits, like kind of the faults of certain kits, because they do all these different things, and some of these kits have like weak points and things like that. So I've been watching, and I was watching a review, and there was one that was like white and pink, and she's like, I want to build that kit. I'm like, okay. So got her the kit, and now she's building a Gundam model.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excited. I bought her own snippers, kind of the single edge snippers,
right?
And got her some of the different files to kind of. She's just building. She's not painting or doing anything.
Yeah, but that's the nice thing about Gundam. You don't really have to if you don't want to.
No, you can just build them and have fun with them. You can repaint them. You can you can make them look brand new, like you like to do with your 40K stuff. Or you can make
all showroom quality, baby.
Showroom quality, or you can beat them up and do the dark grim whatever stuff. But to be honest, I don't think the weathering, like, they're good platforms to practice weathering on because you got all kinds of shapes and angles and stuff like that. But Gundam's, it's anime, so I don't think weathering is necessarily a big part of the Gundam realm. But people do it.
No, and that's what's nice about it. You can actually do whatever level you want to do. And with Gundam, you can also do it with what type of kit you buy.
Yeah.
I have some at my door.
Hello, Dad.
Oh, hey!
Yes.
Hello. Hey!
Special guest star. All right, I'll leave, and I just was unlocking the door.
All right. This is my favorite miniature on the planet.
Adorable.
This is my granddaughter Evangeline.
She got chocolate face right now. Anthony's giving her chocolate.
You got chocolate face? Say hi.
Chocolate is awesome. Hey.
This is the best part about being a boomer.
Yes.
Right here.
Grandchildren.
Who is that right there?
Hi.
Is that you? Is that you? Everybody, this is my daughter Zoe, my youngest.
Hi, Zoe.
And this is Evangeline, my youngest granddaughter, who I saw pull in, which is why you saw me look out the window that one time, like trying to figure out who's pulling in. You guys going swimming today?
No, I was dropping off sprinkles for Aria for the cake.
Sprinkles. You want to go back to Mama? Or no, you want to touch my keyboard?
Uh-oh.
Mommy lets her play with the keyboard at home because I can take the battery out. So she's like, all right, we'll say goodbye. Special guest star.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, you have chocolate everywhere.
Oh, boy.
Bye, dude. Love you.
The joy of chocolate.
The door will no longer be locked.
Bye, Echo.
Do you want Jax out of the room?
Yeah, get him out of here. You drive me nuts. Love you guys.
Love you.
That was a nice surprise.
Ah, Raymond, how are you, buddy?
Yes.
Are they hanging out with you today, or they just stopped?
No, as you know, my middle daughter lives 2 doors down at the apartment complex. Because when I moved back, I moved close because I was actually part of her daycare process.
Sure.
So I'd make sure Kyla got on the school bus, make sure that I was here when she got home, that kind of thing. And she still lives there, but now Kyla's 13. And I'm really
good old teenage years.
Yeah. And so our Zoe, my youngest daughter, was stopping by to drop off stuff for a cake because Aria bakes cakes, and they just thought they'd stop in and say hey.
not photo bombed, I guess video stream bombed.
Video bombed.
Video bombed you.
No, I will have them video bomb me anytime they like.
Anytime they like. That's what I love about it.
I don't get to see Evie very often. She's probably the happiest baby I've ever known in my life. I've seen her cry, but she's usually exactly like Sergeant today, just kind of curious and grinning, and she's on the verge of crawling, which is kind of fun to watch. And she pulls herself up on her hands. She just can't get up on her knees and get moving. And when you put her on her hands and knees, she just doesn't have the coordination yet, but she's close.
It takes time.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gundam building has just become kind of a thing for me. Been just having fun with it. It's a good. Uncle Adam did a recent video about when should you stop gaming type thing. Talking mainly about burnout and maybe making some changes, and that's kind of what I've been doing with the cars and the Gundams, just kind of shifting a little bit and trying some different things to explore my painting style, like to learn new skills. Like panel lining is not as simple as they make it look on TV.
No.
Andy and all these YouTubers that do all these things, it's messy. Panel lining is super because it's just so watery. It runs all over the place. If you get, pro tip, if you get some on your fingers, make sure you clean your fingers off. Otherwise, you're going to have fingerprints all over your model. Not that I know this from experience, but I heard.
You're absolutely correct. Panel lining is like anything we do. It takes practice, and it's an art.
Yes.
And you have to, and even if you're as learned and studied as practice as often as you can, you'll still have moments where it just goes crazy.
And there's certain things you just can't panel line. Like you may think, oh yeah, I'll just panel line that. No, panel lining doesn't behave that way. It goes running all over the place. So you need to really be careful with panel lining.
What I love is like you and I always joke about the fact that anytime we try to do something on camera, it never works out properly.
Yes.
And when I watch videos, like the ones that I'm thinking of right now are the guys that use the white to when they're doing plasma coils and stuff like that, where this and it just kind of runs everywhere and it's all perfect.
Looks
my brain's
amazing.
going, how many takes did you have to do?
Yeah. And
it doesn't always work perfectly.
And what prep did you do? Because panel lining over paint behaves differently than panel lining over raw plastic.
It does. It changes a whole bunch of different factors there.
Yeah. So are they gloss coating over it? Are they matte varnishing? Or are they treating it with some sort of like thinner or something before they do that to get it to run that way? There's little things you need to pay attention to. So
I find it when I watch videos, and I'm in no way, shape, or form an expert on anything, but I know enough to understand some techniques and the basics of them. And what I really get frustrated by are the guys that are doing these tutorials that completely act as if everyone is either at their skill level or above.
Yeah,
they don't go back to the point where it's like, here's the real basics to get to this point. Here's what you have to do to get to that point. Here's the prep work you got to do to get that point.
Raymond, the reason I'm panel lining over raw plastic is I'm building Gundam models, and part of Gundam, the concept behind Gundam models is you don't necessarily have to paint them. Nope. So the one that you'll see a photo of if you're hanging out with us long enough is some of it is painted, some of it is not painted. So I was doing some panel lining over just the raw plastic. Just to kind of stretch my wings a little bit and get into the panel lining. And yeah, I'm learning all kinds of weird things about panel lining. That's why I like
War Hipsters
videos. I'll have to check out War Hipster.
The thing that I've been watching with a lot of curiosity are paint markers.
Yes. Oh gosh. That's become the new rave in the painting.
Well, but have you also? I saw one last night with a paint marker air gun.
Yep.
So I'm interested to see how that goes, because I know Army Painter is just released or is releasing markers.
Speed painting markers, not just paint, but they're doing their speed. They're putting their speed paint inside the marker. Good morning, Don. Nice to see you and have you join our conversation.
The paint markers are kind of intriguing me. So
the whole idea behind Gundam models or Gunpla is to panel line them. Like that's like
Yeah.
kind of really how what people do is they buy them, they build them, they panel line them, they decal them or use the stickers. I would use decals. I don't like their stickers. And then they matte varnish them to take the plastic look away to make it look a little bit nicer. But that's the whole idea why they come in all the different colored sprues and this whole weird, it's a whole another culture of model building that breaks the mold for what we consider painting. I have the tap markers on the way. See if they help me enjoy painting more. Tap markers. The army painters. He's got the army paint. That's the army marker. Yeah, so that airbrush marker thing actually started in the Copic's sphere with their ink. I don't know if you know what Copic markers are.
I do.
The blending marker. They came out with that. I don't know if anyone came, but that's what kind of brought it back up to the surface. Is
I'm because I remember the first markers again. Boomer. The first markers I ever used was when I was a kid. They were Testor's paint markers, and they were ass because you had to shake them really good. They had a shaker ball in them, and then you had to do this on the table with the tip to get it to go back inside, and then you had little to no control over the paint.
Yeah, they just went all over the place.
Now I was in my teens when I tried these. But looking at what I'm seeing now, I mean, there's people now that use exclusively nothing but the paint markers.
Yeah. I picked up those AK fantasy markers.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I don't really like them as much because they did a paintbrush trying to replicate painting, like normal painting in them. And it's just not the same. Because you know as well as I do, paintbrush tips bend and curl and they split open and they have a downside. But their historical ones are like a felt sharp, like a regular Sharpie marker. And I was like, that's kind of what I thought these were going to be. I didn't know they were going to be bristly.
Like a regular paintbrush.
Yeah. I'm like, well, I can just dip a paintbrush in a pot of paint to accomplish that. Well, I wanted markers to where I could like do edge highlighting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because like for edge highlighting, be honest with you, a marker would be better suited for doing some edge highlight, not all edge highlighting, as well as I do, because they're a big fat tip marker and sometimes you need a thin one. But on like a tank or a bigger piece, a marker would make edge highlighting so much easier.
Oh, absolutely.
So
yeah, absolutely. No. Oh, on a quick PSA. I just had a reminder. Yeah, I was sicker than a dog night before last. Thursday night going into Friday. PSA: never buy a Jersey Mike sub and leave it in the fridge for 3 days to eat the last part of it. It has bad effects on you.
Your system just couldn't handle the.
I love Jersey Mike's, and there's one up the road from me. And I had bought a Jersey Mike sub, and I took part of it to work. I had it for dinner that night. Took a part of it took the thing to work for lunch, and ate part of it at lunch. And had one remaining piece that I left in the fridge. So Thursday, I noticed it in the fridge, and I brought it home. This means that sandwich is now like 4 days old, transferring from fridge to fridge. And I had it for dinner Thursday night, and I thought, man, this tastes odd. But it wasn't horrible. But then at about 2:00 in the morning, I realized the error of my ways.
Yeah, Don, you bring up a good point. I agree. Well, I'll argue your point as far as why would you use a marker for any other type of painting? Just because I want to try out the new Army Painters contrast or their speed paint inside a marker, because that might make speed painting a little bit faster and a little bit more controlled, but I want to try those.
The other thing is that it does have the advantage of, because I've seen a lot of guys just use different types of markers, different effects. They don't really use any kind of brushing, so you don't have a lot of the cleanup and a lot of the hassles you have. Like, for example, when I'm finally done painting, I've got my wet palette to clean up. I've got all this other stuff with the marker. Just clean the tip, pop the cap on, and you move on. And that's probably what it is. But it's just, again, It's just style of painting and what people are comfortable with.
Well,
And
so
again, I think Gundam is the one that actually started the marker process because they had a whole line of markers before anybody else did it.
yeah. Well, they got panel lining in like markers where you just kind of, you talked about pressing down the tip, where you just press down the tip in the panel lines and it just runs all over the place. But it only really works on raw plastic. It doesn't work on painted plastic. Based on whatever products that they're using.
But what it really boils down to, for me, is that it broadens the hobby up to even more people that are intimidated by the brushes and they may want to try markers. But it's just another tool.
Yeah.
Another tool in the toolbox you can throw in there.
Yeah.
And just, have all the different stuff. Because I actually do edge highlighting with the side of my brush. And I've actually got, the only problem I have with it is I don't, for lack of a better term, have you ever heard or watched a crime drama where they talk about hesitation marks?
Yes.
Where there's that hesitation when you try to stab somebody, and so you hesitate. I do the same thing with when I'm doing edge highlighting or trying to do a fine line with the brush. I don't just do the line. I do this, where I'm trying to keep it straight, and end up getting this
hesitation marks.
And so I'm trying to. Since I bought my Artist Opus brushes, I've been trying to get my brush control down. I've been trying to get my a lot of different things done with my brush control, my brush maintenance, that kind of thing. But markers are just another thing that, for example, for a vehicle kit, I think they'd be fantastic. For me, they might speed the process up a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, again, I'll try the Army Painter ones when they come out. I hope AK Interactive redoes their fantasy line with a felt tip. Don's sharing a story about some crackers that were what were they? The fish crackers?
Goldfish, the goldfish crackers. Made or white. Didn't know they were made with white cheddar. They don't. We figured out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, it's the first time I ever called off of work at like 5:30 in the morning. Like, I'm not going anywhere today.
And then Rob's talking about their metallic speed paints are great. Yeah, I love the Army Painter metallic speed paints. It'll be nice to see them in a brush, especially like when you're doing a sword or something like that, and you just want to do a little bit on that edge. Even some of their speed paint metallics still have bright colors. They have like different varying colors of metallics. So I'm excited about markers, but I wasn't thrilled with the AK Fantasy line simply because they made them brushes, and I'm like, I could have just used the paintbrush at that point. Like, I was looking for the felt marker tip in those paintbrushes.
Well, the best part about it is, though, again, it just brightens, because there's a lot of people out there that just are coming from Bandai over to regular miniature painting that are used to using the markers and other things like that. It just gives you another thing you can have to kind of add to your arsenal.
Yeah,
it's really cool. And by the way, painting pink sucks.
Okay. Yeah, especially over black primer.
Absolutely. And white primer, because it's a double-edged sword. Because I'm doing an Emperor's Children army right now, and the black I primed them black because this was the scheme I had in mind.
Okay.
And I didn't want to have to come back through with the black after if I painted them white, so I primed them black, which is gone okay, but I had to use a base coat of Mephiston red under the pink to kind of make it work. So painting pink is a nightmare.
But you take something like that with a marker.
Yep.
And then you can just kind of drag it across the edge. You won't get rid of your hesitation marks. You'll hit bumps and lumps along the way because it's a GW model and there's lots of bumps and lumps. But yeah, you'll really hit that edge a lot nicer, cleaner, sharper. Without your hesitation marks because one of the challenges with a paintbrush, just like anything, it can run out of paint real quick depending on how much you got in your bristles and all that kind of stuff. So,
but the thing that really triggered me was seeing the actual marker airbrush.
Yeah,
that was fascinating.
He's been dipping into Gundam using miniature painting techniques. Oh yes, there's a lot of people doing. There's I don't know the dude's channel. And it may be the same guy. There's a gentleman that takes a lot of Gundam models, paints them just like we would paint miniature models, So he glues the joints and all that, and he makes a static pose, and he uses, dry brushing technique, edge highlighting, and all that. He, if I'm not mistaken, he was playing Gamma Worlds or Gamma Wolf, the
Right.
Ash Barker or Ash, the
Might
guy
have been
from
Ash.
Gorilla Miniatures. He did his,
Yeah.
and they look good. He does some good blending and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's
But
awesome.
I've just been having some fun with it. It's just I needed that shift because I was just getting kind of tired. I'm out off to family fun stuff with kids at church. Peace. All right, Rob the handsome.
See you
Now we
Monday,
got a
Rob.
whole new name for Rob. Ash Barker. Yeah, that's his name. So anyway, that's kind of what I've been up to. And now I'm also cleaning up my room.
Well, that's got to happen here because we when we talk for the show about how right now I'm kind of out of control of everything.
Yes.
That's what's happening today when I'm done here because I think part of the reason I don't feel like I can sit down and paint is everywhere in here's a mess.
Yeah.
So I've got to clean that up today. So
well, I've got to get ready for Thanksgiving because I'm doing that 1/16 Sherman.
Right.
And I need my window cleared out, the bright light that comes in from behind me. I need that window space cleared out so that way I can just open up my window and airbrush and just have it basically go out the window and not have to. So I'm thinking about getting a rolling table because the window's right next to the closet.
Right.
So I want to get like a rolling table so I can just leave it set up. I want it to elevate so I can lower it when I'm doing something else, and then I can raise it back up when I'm airbrushing and just go right out the window. I'll put like a little fan right there. I don't need an airbrush booth and all this fancy stuff.
Right.
I just need a fan, airbrush, and then if I need to get in the closet, I can just roll it away. That's in my mind how it's going to work out.
By the way, I have picked a Thanksgiving kit.
Oh, you did?
with the advent of the new Space Wolf Codex, me working and putting, I haven't started painting them yet, but me having built and getting the new Codex and everything else, I'm writing an army, and I'm going old school for me because basically back in the day when I was playing Wolves every day, I had a Blood Claw delivery system called a Land Raider Crusader.
Yes.
Back in the day when the Crusader, the Hurricane bolters were metal. I'm going to be working on because what I want to do is the kit has the Redeemer profile Land Raider and the Crusader profile Land Raider coming in. I'm going to take it so I can magnetize the Hurricane bolters versus the Flamers.
Very cool.
So I can pull those in and out, and that's going to be my Thanksgiving kit.
Very cool. I'm excited.
And I will be ready. I'm ready now that we can actually paint during the month of Thanksgiving.
Very cool. Just want to touch base on something Raymond talked about. He's been feeling out of it where 40K is concerned because IO is closing. Building Gundams seems like a good idea. It is a good change of pace. And you don't have to buy expensive Gundam kits. You can go to Hobby Lobby. They do 40% off sales. You can the one I painted retailed at $16.99. I got it 40% off. It wasn't expensive, and it was just a good change of pace. So
I have to stay because I'm upset that I can't play 40K more.
Yeah.
I don't have a store here. I mean, Darren closing IO is impacting me, but for completely different reasons than you guys. Sure. If I was out there, it'd also be where do I go now? But I'm in a place where I'm going, where do I go ever? I don't know. I got nothing here. But the fact that Darren and I, our entire existence is based around. We met at Hobby Bench at 19th and Northern. He worked at my shop at 28th and Cactus. When I left to go to Games Workshop, he took over that shop, then opened his own. So I'm entwined in that history from beginning to end.
Yeah,
that's tearing me up because I know what it's doing to my buddy.
Yeah.
But I'm also happy that the going out of the sale has been much better than he thought it would be, and he's getting the accolades he deserves for what he's actually done.
The community support has
absolutely
really like as a person in the retail space, you kind of get into that groove. The day to day, you're dealing with others' challenges and struggles. Sometimes you don't see how much
you don't really understand how much you actually are appreciated.
Yeah,
but because of that, that's not impacting me. So I'm all about right now, and they got the Chaos Dwarves they just announced, which are gorgeous. So that was where I was going with that. Is that I have to avoid Gundam because the Hobbytown USA that's closest to me has a 40-foot wall of top to bottom and nothing but Gundams, and I literally avoid that wall like the plague. It's like I have money that I'm here to spend on this stuff. If I even go back there, I'm going to find something and I'm done.
Yeah.
So So no.
And Don, yeah, that's probably something I will end up doing. So thank you for that tip. So Don's talking about how someone just took like a box fan, put it in their window, put an air filter on it to vent out and catch the paint from going into the fan and destroying it. That's probably something I will do. That actually makes perfect sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the only reason I don't I see some streamers, they just like airbrush in their room and they don't have any kind of a booth or any way of venting it out.
Yep.
And then you just get all that dust and particles all over the place.
I paint at a lower PSI than most.
Okay.
Because I don't have a booth right now. I paint right over at the station right directly behind me. And I just airbrushed all these a couple days ago. And I get a little bit of overspray, but I actually also put stuff around that keeps it from traveling farther than a certain distance.
Yeah.
But I need to get a better setup than I have now for airbrushing. So.
There you go. Raymond, I'd recommend you break out that kit you've been sitting on for 10 years and take a closer look at it and maybe watch some YouTube videos on different building techniques or something like that. Kind of get an idea of where it's all at and check it out. Joe's talking about his entire existence. Yeah, a lot of our existence is wrapped into IO, and Darren is family. When he goes to Montana, yeah, he's going to be missed.
Well, I'm glad Don seems to be playing a lot more. That's awesome, Don. That's fantastic. Yeah. And yeah, Tim, I painted a ton of that terrain.
Yeah, everybody did. Like there's little bits and pieces of all of us at IO.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most of the core group of like the core customer base. I have armies that were painted that were at IO, terrain, effort. I built a lot of the tables, not all of them, but some of them. Me and Tim did that one day. We built tables. Like so much of us were invested. It wasn't just a business we went to purchase stuff and play games. It was a business we invested ourselves into.
Absolutely.
To build a community, and Darren was our leader in that community. And
all of that infinity terrain I built. That entire graveyard Halloween pumpkin patch thing with me.
I remember when you were painting all those pumpkins, you were still like.
Darren still sends me a random picture of a pumpkin now and wants to trigger me. No more pumpkins, please. I'm glad, Don. I'm glad you're playing a lot, man. I wish I was there to hang out and play with you because I'd love to have a Blood Bowl. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking as soon as I get my life under control. I know I've been saying that for a year now, but eventually I will, or I'll die, one of the two. That I want to run a Blood Bowl league down in either a Blood Bowl league or a Blood Bowl tournament down at Games and Stuff, which is a fantastic shop that an old friend of mine from Games Workshop manages. But no, I'm glad you finally got some gaming going on. But that's actually sounds fantastic. I'd give anything to have that kind of environment right now. So.
Yeah, and there's one shop close to me. It's a small shop. His hours are kind of weird, but if I want to do some gaming, that's where I'd go. I was at IO for 2 or 3 days every week for over 20 years. Yeah, Joe, you were kind of like a fixture at the shop. And many of us worked there at some point, or had some investment into that shop. So Darren's shop is going to be missed. It'll probably be at the end of the month. They'll probably no longer be. So.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to plan my first trip to visit when Darren's back in Montana. But first, I think hopefully he's still planning on coming out here for Thanksgiving because my daughters want to see him because he was an integral part of their lives for so long.
Darren will. Okay, you're not a fixture, Joe. We can't sell you. I think there's laws against that in some places.
Yeah. An online league might be cool. I've never done before, but I've read a lot about it. We should try that.
How would you do an online league?
I'm not sure. I've read a lot about it though.
Is that like
you can do a league using Blood Bowl 3 online as an actual video.
Yeah. I'm thinking the physical game though. It'd be like we would have to.
That'd be tough.
Well, we could stream it. Like you and I could have an army for you, and you could have a team, and you would tell me where to move, and then you would roll your dice because you roll terrible. Except for Blood Bowl, you roll amazingly, which I haven't quite figured out that process yet, but we will get there. And then I would just move the board, move the pieces around, and we would be playing online. There you go.
Yeah, I used to play chess with a buddy of mine. God, back when I was 12, 13 years old, and he moved away. And for almost a year, he and I played chess through the mail.
Yeah.
And we both had a board set up at our house, and he would mail me his moves. I would do them. I would mock him. Then I'd make my move and mail it back to him. It took forever to play a game. It was a lot of fun. It kept us connected. So.
But Don is talking about playing the video game, so.
Yeah, Tabletop Simulator is a good way. Their Blood Bowl 3 actually plays just like the actual game. And we can do there's a lot of stuff you can do online with that as well, where you play live players versus the AI. So
that could be interesting. I have Blood Bowl 2, I think, for my Xbox.
Yeah, Blood Bowl 3 is actually a pretty good game. I still struggle with the randomness of playing playing the computer itself.
Yeah. Thanks, Victor. I remember Captain Kangaroo. Well, 2 has a better GUI. I don't know what a GUI is. And less expensive than Blood Bowl 3 has new rules. Got it. I guess the only challenge with doing an online league is wouldn't you all have to be on the same system?
No, they do cross-platform.
Oh, they do cross. Okay.
Yeah. If you're playing Blood Bowl 3, you can do cross-platform. As a matter of fact, I play on a Sony, not on a PlayStation 4.
Okay.
But a buddy of mine has an Xbox and plays on that.
Yeah, it was just the first thing that popped in my head would be the cross. I didn't know they. So you're probably logging into a server.
Yeah.
Of some sort, so it doesn't matter what platform you're on.
Yeah. So
very cool. That could be interesting. I'd have to break out. I'd have to start playing Blood Bowl 3. Graphic use. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm not a computer guy, so.
Don's just flexing his intellect.
Well, speaking of Don, because he posted some photos, should we slide on into the photo show of the?
I only am showing pictures from people that have a name that begins with D or M today.
Yes, we do have a lot of photos.
We do.
This could be labeled the Joe Show because Joe has done a lot. No, Don, I just didn't. I don't use the lingo. I could use the lingo I use at work, and you'd be like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Don, we didn't say that to pick on you. We saved that to call ourselves out that we don't know.
We're not up on the lingo.
I'm trying to find the share screen thing. That's not it.
Is it the present an invite?
No, I'll figure it out. No, that's something different. I'll find it here.
Is it the little TV?
There it is. I found it. It's the little screen with the plus symbol in it. They're using symbols now, which confused me.
Raymond goes, I expected Jeff to say he played on some obscure diesel-powered platform.
I never liked him.
This dude looks familiar from like a famous actor.
Actually, I thought this was Joe's avatar. This is what Joe wants to look like.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, who am I thinking, though? I'm thinking Brosco.
I don't know where that's coming from. Hang on a minute here. That's the wrong pick.
Uh-oh.
That's the wrong share.
Oh, no. Please make sure you check your shares before you share.
Let's try this again. Why am I only getting one?
Don's been painting like a madman.
All right, I'm having some technical difficulties here.
Uh-oh. Well, that wouldn't be the first time we've had technical difficulties on our show.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be.
We always seem to have technical difficulties.
Let's try this.
But Raymond, if you're in the gun, oh boy, that's zoomed in.
That is zoomed in. What the heck is going on here?
David hasn't chimed in. I don't know if David's watching us or if he's having work stuff going on. But he said at Andy's Hobby headquarters in Tolleson, first Saturday of every month, I guess they have a group of people go into the shop and just build Gundam models all day. So it might be a place worth visiting, especially like the first Saturday of the month. So you can kind of see things that people are doing and get an idea. I plan to visit probably, I might go check out the one in September, but like the first Saturday of the month, people get together at Andy's over in Tullison and just build Gundam. And I guess it's from like open to close. There's just people coming and going throughout the day.
All right, hang on a minute here. I'm having some kind of serious issues.
Yeah, I'm just stalling while you press buttons.
Stall away, my friend.
But you're probably going to want to look. So something funny that happened to me is there's a guy at work. He's a 40K player and Imperial Assault player. And when we were talking, he said he played Tau, and I made the typical Tau comments of people that play Tau. And then I finished the Gundam model, and I sent him a picture of it, and now he calls me a dirty Tau player because Gundam do look a lot like Tau models. There's actually a Tau model that looks like it's heavily inspired by Gundam.
Yeah, well, the Tau were absolutely inspired by Japanimation.
Yeah.
You definitely can see that. So anyway, here we are. Finally I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. See, Don, this is us not knowing I had no idea. I can think of an acronym which starts with an F and a U. When I'm thinking about this from my computer, I'm like, FU computer, work, darn it. I was almost to the standard boomer way of fixing electronics. I was about ready to pound on the processor with my fist.
There you go. This is one of the new Horus Heresy models, right?
Yes. Amos is he would fit in with you and I very, very well because he switches games constantly.
He cycles.
Yes. So, but he paints every night. This is a gorgeous model he's done. It's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, look at that glow effect.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really, really good.
The big shoulder pads. We're bringing back the 80s, guys.
A technical tap. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was about ready to do that with my foot right into the side of my processor that's on the floor here beside me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this looks really good, Amos.
Love
really nice stuff.
I love his hazard stripes. He's got a little orange tint going on in the hazard stripes.
Yep.
Love it.
Looking really good.
Oh,
I think these are Dave Hummels.
Okay. Getting ready for tanks.
Yep.
Building something unique.
Yep. There's this whole process how I started putting it together.
Very cool. Very cool.
To get to this point.
Love it.
Very cool.
Like maybe he's doing some arms on it or something.
Yeah, there's some kind of armatures he's put on the outside of the vehicle.
Okay.
Probably weapon mounts or something. I'm not sure what he's doing. I didn't read the caption, unfortunately. But
wonder if he's doing something. Well, it's sisters-ish. So
yeah.
Who knows? All right.
So there we go. And this looks like a Marine doing push-ups.
No, this is David, and this is the new, basically Bandai's entering into the gaming realm. They're gonna have a Gundam. Right. This is one of the Gundam models for the card game. They released some models, but I'm sure they're gonna be the models that are used for the miniatures game that's coming out next year. Jeff Smash.
That's how it goes usually.
That's the thing. That model is crazy looking.
Yeah.
I built that once, long time ago. Cool little kit, but
very nice.
Yeah, so David picked these up, and these are just all I can assume is Bandai took this as an opportunity to release some of the models, to introduce models to card gamers and Gundam fans to get used to painting and kind of expose them a little bit before the miniatures game come out. But they're kind of in scale with GW models. Like they're not 28 mil. They're kind of in that 32 to 35 mil.
Oh, okay.
So I love that one.
Yeah. Very cool.
And this is one of the reasons I got sparked back into Gundam and started looking at Gundam. But I couldn't find any of the starter sets anymore with miniatures in it. So I just buy real Gundam and play with real Gundam.
There you go. Well, you've always been about that. I want to do this bigger scale. I'm still waiting for the big Gaslands event.
If I had a 3D printer, it'd be happening, but I refuse to buy one.
Yeah,
but they look like neat models. Oh, and then this is
these, if you can imagine, I thought were awesome.
Yeah.
These are squats on trikes.
Squats on trikes. I could see that being your biker game. Squats on trikes.
Yep, there we go. Look at that.
Look at those.
Definitely got a squat Votan kind of a feel to them. They look great. They look fantastic. I want them.
Amazing. This is Necromunda?
I'm not sure who this is.
So
these are for I don't know if they're for Necromunda or who they are. Those are, I think I kind of assumed with the background there, but they made a different game. I didn't read the caption. I rely on you for that. You know I don't read.
Well, these are 40K models.
Are they?
Yeah, I think he was doing some Necromunda stuff.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I love those. Those are awesome.
They look amazing.
Yeah, those could definitely be Necromunda kind of minors. This, that, and the
other. Yeah, Joe, I'd go 1-to-1 gas lens. I'd be all right with that.
Very cool stuff.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff Don's been working on.
Yeah, love them. This is Shatterpoint, though. So these are larger scale models than Imperial Assault or Legion. Yes, Necromunda. I made a 40K theme, figure 8 racetrack based loosely on Gorka Marka rules. It was interesting. Yeah, Don, Speed Freaks came out. God, about the time the Orcs released, and they did a racetrack type thing. Yeah, Don's stuff is looking good. Now he's working with pink.
Yeah.
A little bit of pink there.
Looking really good.
Yeah. Doing that heavy contrast on the lines, really make them pop. Love it.
That's the back half of the first model.
Very cool. Oh, wasn't somebody looking for this?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I forget who it was. Hang on one second. I can tell you.
Somebody was looking for that.
Yeah, I think this is Matt Wilkinson.
Because
it's FF Wilkinson on Discord.
Yeah, I think he was looking for that. Oh,
bunch of orcs, same guy.
Orcs.
Marines.
Those look like old Marines, though.
Yeah, they look like the old push fit.
Old school. Going old school.
Yep.
Very cool. And playing
it's very reminiscent of Battle of the Farm.
Such a common battle.
That's absolutely very, very similar what it looks like. It's Marines holding out against an orc process. And again, I didn't read the caption, but there's the Rogue Trader book right there.
Oh, so he's doing
that's probably the Battle of the Farm. That looks really good, man.
He's doing some old school. Old Hammer.
Old Hammer.
Yeah, baby.
Very cool.
All right.
Joe stuff here.
Joe has just been cranking out miniatures for a game that he is getting on the table and needs a bunch of civilians. Lots of civilians to wander around and get in the way. Oh, poor guy. He got beat up.
He got his leg stuck in the bike chain.
Oh, that's rough. Oh, look at that detail on that cape.
Yeah, it looks good.
Very nice. So much cool stuff. Got the world blowing up behind you, and everyone's just kind of chilling out, taking it easy. Yeah. Love it. Checking out the snake. Joe, put in the comments the game that I forget the title. You sent me a link. I checked it out. It looks interesting. But it does. It's one of those games where you're going to have a lot of, I'll just say NPCs kind of running around, doing some different things. Got to have the scatter turn. Oh, someone didn't make it.
A couple guys didn't.
Uh-oh. Kind of got like a Victorian vibe going on. Yeah. Guards of Traders Toll. Very cool. Oh, little park bench.
Yeah.
Oh, too bad they don't have a miniature of the statue, the guy in the statue. That would look cool seeing those
Yeah.
side by side.
And
Oh, cabbage.
this is one of the model that Rob has been working on for quite a while. I think he's finally got it done.
I love the cabbage guys. Mike, do you have a chance to look at the new paint brand video I posted? Yes, I did, Don. So let's try. Don posted a little video of some paint, a new paint brand that's coming out.
Yep, I saw it this morning.
It looks interesting. I kind of was digging it, but then I got lost looking at the air compressor they have for $600, and I was like, that's a really nice air compressor. And I was like, that kind of took me away from the paint real quick. But yes, I did check it out. It looks cool. It'll be interesting. It's kind of like lacquer paints without all the smell and problems of lacquer paints. So look at the
That's something Rob's been working on for a bit for his ogres.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Using the orc model in an ogre army.
Yep.
Yeah, I still have my Grex compressor too. I still have to work on it every once in a while. But maybe when it finally goes, I'll end up buying that crazy air compressor. Love his color choices.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Yeah. Old school orc.
Yep.
When they had the kind of cartoony look to them.
Yep.
This is Tim's work.
Yep.
Very cool. It's pointing at me. Love that guy.
Good model.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's the Gundam I did. Lots of learning on that. Lots of learning on that.
I bet it looks good though.
Thank you. It was fun. It was just a fun little break from the day-to-day. Orcs. There we go. Love it. Yeah. And then this is the end tails of my first wave of more time models. Really working on my flesh tone. That's kind of what my focus was.
Looking good.
That photo is not too good though. It's too bright. Yeah. It happens. Love those guys. Such a great models range that they put out for this Darthorth or whatever.
Yeah.
Fashion.
Looks really good.
Thank you.
And that's it.
Oh, I was waiting for you to put something out.
Nope. I've been painting, but I've got some stuff finished. I just have been so cranked. I'm just trying to get them done. I haven't stopped to take pictures. What's going to end up happening is I'm going to probably have a photo dump by the next week or two, right? I'm just literally, I finish them up, put them in a case, and grab the next project and move on. Because taking the pictures in my booth takes some time. To do a complete project, I'm just doing a picture of one model. It takes maybe 15 minutes to get it all set up and gone. But to do like serious one picture after another, that kind of stuff, which is my booth is right there.
Right.
I haven't just done it. I've just been working on stuff and moving on. So.
Well, you're also a commission painter, so you have some other challenges that you're faced with.
Yeah, well, I'm actually trying to clear my desk of all my commissions, and I'm going to take a break from commissions, I think, for the next year, because I'm behind, and I'm with all the health issues I've had and everything else going on in my life, between health issues, truck issues, general life issues. I'm behind on everything. So I'm going to clear my desk, because the frustrating part for me is I have not had a chance to actually just sit down and paint my own stuff in forever. The last real project for myself I worked on was my wolf spear for Dave's Build Paint Play.
That was a while ago.
And I'm just like, the new wolves have come out, and this is literally all I've got done with my new wolves is about that much. Because I've got so much other stuff going on in my life right now. And I can see, I was telling you earlier, I just kind of, right now my life is kind of out of my control, or it feels like it's out of my control. I mean, that's a better way to put it. And so I'm trying to get everything reined back in. And so I'm going to clear my commissions off my desk and take a break from them and work on my own stuff.
Don added a nice little, he's been adding purple to his flesh tone to give it a little bit more depth.
Purple and green.
It's changed how he does his thing, his painting.
Yep.
Which is awesome. He doesn't even ink it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That a lot.
Yeah.
So
Purple and green are two colors that you add into your flesh tone because basically, if you want to get rid of the redness in the flesh tone or the pinkiness of the flesh tone,
I call it
add a little bit of green.
Yeah, a little bit of green, a little bit of purple, kind of change some things up, give it that blood flow underneath it.
Yep.
So very cool.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be good for you to kind of take a break and focus a little bit on you for a little while, so that way you can get some of your passion back. And I guess that's kind of what Uncle Adam was talking about in his video, is ways of getting over some humps or stretching yourself or just making changes. So
well, yeah, because the things that I'm passionate about I can't paint right now, and what I am painting is
paint.
I used to get excited about painting new stuff.
Yeah.
And I have one project that I'm doing for Colin that I am excited about. That's the Emperor's Children, because I've never done a lot of pink, and I've never done a lot of chaos stuff. But I've got after the Emperor's Children, I have a long line of projects that I've just, not a long line, but I got quite a few projects that'll take me a couple months to get cleared.
Good morning, David.
Morning, David. So I'm going to be just clearing those off my desk.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of clearing off the desk, and then I'll start the next. I got to finish. So I did that Legion stuff for Jason.
Right.
And I've got to finish this. This is the last piece of that. But I took a break because there was a lot of Legion stuff I painted for him.
Right.
So I'll crack this open probably this week and start working on that. It's not going to be terribly difficult because it's Darth Vader and Luke, and it's all mainly black is going to be the main color. But I want to explore with some airbrushing on it and stuff like that. So because it's got like a display base.
Right.
They're actually on the Death Star, so it's got a display base. So I'll do some fun stuff with that.
That should be fun.
I hope so. I do like painting, just random painting. I guess that's always, I want to stay on top of that. It's really easy. Like you get a little burnt out. Okay, I'll just stop painting for a while. Well, then your skill set starts to diminish.
Right.
So you always want to be working on that skill set.
Well, that's the other problem I'm running into. There's a lot of things about my personal painting I want to improve on. But I'm not taking the time to learn new techniques on commission work. I just want to, I do tabletop quality. That's all I've ever advertised that I do. And so I don't have, every time I sit down and work on my stuff, I would try to focus on stuff. And then I take a break from it while I work on other people's stuff. And then I got to go back and kind of redo what I've already done. And it just gets good. So
you got to relearn it.
Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of a break on that for a while. But it's going to take me a while to get, I think the only time I want to get things cleared enough so I can actually do the Thanksgiving project. I'm probably going to do something for October, but I don't know yet. So,
well, we haven't really talked about October. We just kind of talked about Thanksgiving. I think we just skipped October.
We haven't. Well, I got September, and so. But here's the thing, though. I'll probably be gearing up for Thanksgiving during October.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I'm taking on a hell of a project because even though it's a 1/16 scale tank, everything's just bigger. It doesn't have more parts because it's not a full interior. It's not all the other stuff. It's just a big thing. So, but I'm used to painting orc stuff, stompas and big stompy robots. So it will be a lot of fun, but it's just going to be green. So the weathering will be the challenge. You're staring out the window again.
No, I'm reading captions.
Oh,
I was reading Don's caption. That's all.
Oh, got it. So,
I was listening. Partly.
No, I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but I really got to get my room cleaned up. So,
September
is going to be getting the room. The scale models like a tank can just be. Yes, they can be. It can actually be more challenging because, especially if you start getting into all the weathering powders and magical stuff that people use on them. So, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And I may spend November building it. Like, who knows how far I'm going to get. Like,
yeah, no, absolutely. Well, that's the reason I was reading Don's comment is I take a lot of pride in where Don's at, just because I've known Don for so long.
Yeah.
And seeing him get excited about painting and seeing him actually, trying new things, it's just actually exciting for me. Because I said I met Don when he's not going to like it. He was just a kid when I met him. Now he's got his own kids. So
Yes.
yeah. So
Yes, and he keeps pushing himself. He gets out of that comfort zone
yeah.
and tries new things, and that's what it's really all about. And that's I guess one of the reasons why I'm excited about everything coming out on the market, like the markers and speed paints and contrast paints and the paints that Don was talking about on that link. Is we're seeing so many new tools. He was in his early 20s. That's a kid, Don.
Just a kid, Don.
Uh, but we're seeing so many new things come on the market. It can be overwhelming. Like you can get lost if you start looking at all the products that are on the market right now. Like literally, you could open up a store that just sold nothing but hobby supplies and paints, and you'd probably make a pretty big store because there's just so many product lines out there anymore and so many different things that are available for us to use in the hobby.
Right. Yeah, that's one of we talked about technology and how it can sometimes be like a ball and chain.
Yes.
But in the hobby industry and what we deal with, technology is fantastic.
Yeah.
New technology gets me excited. Old techniques that have new ways of doing them that come back around make me excited. But what I find funny about that is when people that have never knew that used to be a thing back in the day, it becomes new to them, and then they get all excited about like, oh look, they just invented sliced bread. No, that's just come back around again, but in a new and improved way.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We just sliced bread differently back then.
Yeah.
Now we just have better ways of slicing the bread.
Well, it used to be we had to go down and harvest our own wheat, grind the grain, make the flour, and make bread. Now that comes all pre-done, and you can just take a knife and cut it yourself.
And that's like contrast paints kind of that way. I remember back in the time just thinning my paints way down just so that the edges would have a different shade to them.
A very good friend of mine, Mark Renier, taught me how to do a contrast technique on orcs. This was back in '97. But now they do. You pretty much every paint company now has their own speed paints, contrast paints. They're all out there, so it's very cool. It's very exciting.
Well, and like Ninjon's kind of introducing something new. I don't know if you watched his latest video or if you even watch any of his videos, but
I haven't yet. I normally do, but I'm just ready. I think so. I'm kind of discombobulated right now.
He's creating these color cards where on the card you have a sci-fi or fantasy picture, and on the side of the card there are the colors that are actually in the picture that you can use. So it's more of a color reference.
Right.
So that way you paint using those colors and you kind of get an idea of what the color looks like. So you're not experimenting on your tape, on your miniature, using different colors. This is kind of doing it. And then on the back of the card, it gives like list of brands and the paint colors that that are used in that piece of art. So it's like different. It's basically a color wheel.
Yeah.
In a piece of art, so you can actually see how these colors work together. And he's just reinventing something that he uses before. There's like another product that he's used on his channel where it's like a photo and it takes the colors from the photo. This is why this photo looks good, because these colors work good together. He's just moving it into the miniature realm by showing like fantasy and sci-fi art and providing that. And it's just like, that's kind of innovative and different. I like it. I think it's kind of cool, but it's really just another way of looking at a color wheel. I keep seeing fidget spinner. That actually is kind of cool. Like spin it. All right, those are the colors you're going to use.
There was a guy this year ironically, here it is. There was a guy this year that was at Adepticon that was giving these pens away. And the company name is Nexus. But you know how people do this a lot?
Yeah.
Drives you crazy. This has got a fidget spinner on the top.
Ah, there
you can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just sit there. And it's not as intrusive. And I thought when a buddy of mine at the show grabbed this for me and gave me one. I've got two of them now. And I thought, this is just stupid. That was my first thought. I'm an old man. I'm a boomer. I thought this was just stupid. And so I grabbed a pen the other day to write something down. And this was the one that I grabbed. And I'm sitting there looking at what I wrote, and I'm thinking, and I found myself doing this. And I went, oh, dear God. Oh dear God. Yeah. So it's the best thing ever now. But when I first saw it, that's kind of stupid. What? And then I found myself writing with it. And then while I'm thinking, I'm spinning this thing, going, okay, I've got a problem.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Well, I mean the fidget is kind of funny because I also have a you know what a slinky is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have always used those as a fidget spinner, but never realized it till I'm now an adult because my kids got me a slinky put in my Christmas stocking this year. And I kind of rolled my eyes looking at it, but it sits at my desk at work. And when I'm thinking, I just sit and fidget with this slinky all the time. And I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see the importance of these things.
Just something to do with your hands.
Just something to do with your hands. So yeah, no, I get that. So there you go. So.
Well, if you do get a chance, check out Ninjon's video. He's still developing and doing everything. He's just got like prototypes that he shared on his video, but it looks like an interesting concept. It's just a reimagining of like a color wheel or just a new way of approaching color theory, to where you see a piece of art. Why do you like this art? Is it the image or is it the color? Because sometimes we're drawn to, like, a lot of people don't like Christmas because green and red all over the place is just such contrasting colors that to some people it's just too much. And this is something I learned from Gorilla with a Brush when he did his class on color theory. Some people just respond because of your color scepters in your eyes and all that crap.
Yep.
So all he's doing is saying, well, here's a piece of art. Here are the colors used in it. Do you like this art because of the colors or because of the image? And I just think it's just a neat concept.
There's an entire science that I learned about when architects and designers are designing, say, like a restaurant, on your color choices in the restaurant and what kind of response those colors will invoke.
Yep.
Like for example, in fast food restaurants, they pick colors that you want to be comfortable with, but you don't want to hang out there. And that's when, that's why things are built and designed and colored the way they are based on the psychological effect it can have on people. Yeah. So yeah.
I don't know if Alan's still around. He moved out of state.
He Girl with a Brush.
Yeah, he moved out of state.
He's still around. I still get every once in a while he posts something on Facebook or Instagram. But he divorced, moved, and he's now remarried, and he's not as active online as he is. But his name is O'Brien, I think is his last. Yeah. And but he is still out there. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing painter. Amazing.
Yeah. Phenomenal painter. I still have he did a dwarf tutorial that I still have saved on YouTube that I go back and watch for flesh tone. When I'm like painting my Votan and stuff, I go back and give myself a refresher on how he does that kind of flesh tone.
Yeah. And his ability to put tattoos on flesh and not like, I don't birthmarks or freckles, like just giving flesh tones some light, not just being flesh tone.
Yeah. And the amazing part for me with him is the fact that he got into painting through a buddy of mine, Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw lived up in Prescott, used to come down to my shop a lot, and was a phenomenal painter. He's now an attorney in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
When I first moved back, he stopped by IO and I ran into him. He was a phenomenal, quite frankly, back in the day at IO, he was probably one of the best painters we had coming in because his Eldar, he had several golden demons, never got the sword, which drove him nuts. But he was really good. But he got Alan into painting and kind of got him on the start and kind of showed him some things. And then he just went, woo.
And it just happens for some people. They really put in the effort and really put in the time. Like I did a Toastmasters meeting and I was talking about effort because so many people, YouTube, what's that a YouTube channel link to?
I don't know. Could be Alan.
Could be. Anyways, it's all about the effort because so many people want to start something new, but but they want to immediately just go to the end result and be amazing. And they don't really think about like people that are professional sports players or musicians and stuff, how much sacrifice and effort they put in, all their failures We just see the end result because that's unfortunately as people, that's what we focus on.
I whenever I would give a painting class, people would always talk about I don't have that kind of talent, and I would tell them, I said, listen, I said talent has a factor in it, but learning the base technique and learning how to do those techniques can take you to quite a ways down the road.
Yes.
The guys like Alan that have a natural talent for you, A, get there faster,
right,
and B, can take it over that edge. But I firmly believe that some of those techniques can be taught. You may not be as good naturally as other people, but you can actually learn and be a phenomenal painter without having that what would be considered an innate God-given talent. But Alan, that Alan, you can see that from the time he learned to paint to where he's at now, just he's off the charts.
But he also had a lot of failures along the way.
He had a ton of failures along the way.
Yeah, and I saw his first miniatures on his class. It was kind of cool. He showed his first miniatures, and they're just horrific.
Yeah,
and you're like, you're not the same painter. Like, but it took time. You got to put in the effort. You got to put in the hours. You got to put in that. I have always said that I am a technician that has some artistic talent. Not a great artist. I like that. Yeah, and and that's what we are. We just learn certain skill sets, and
I'm still under the same rule I've always been. I literally paint to play. Even though I do a lot of display stuff, I still use a lot of the same techniques. But my real goal at the end of the day, when I'm sitting at my table, is I want to get on the game table.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the time. I don't think it's not that I don't have the time. I don't think either. I'm not patient enough, and I don't want to take the time to spend an entire year on a project just to put it in a competition.
Right.
I want to get it painted so it looks as nice as I can make it, and then put it on the table and let my dice get it destroyed.
When you posted that photo of you clearing out your dice bag,
yes.
All I saw were a bunch of ones.
Well, it was my. I went to. I just went through my dice bag and I was like, kind of clean, and I found all these sustained fire dice from way back. I'm not even sure, like 3rd or 4th edition 40K, right. Maybe 2nd edition 40K. And I was like, and the number of artillery dice I had was even worse. So I really got to clean my dice bag out more often because I'm coming across dice that are like ancient that I don't have any use for anymore. But the sustained fire dice, so I had a funny story when I was at IO, or not at IO, at Waterloo Games at 19th or 20th and Cactus. I was telling people how the sustained fire dice work because basically they're 1, 2, or 3, and then there's one side of the dice that has a jam indicator. And so basically how that would work, you'd roll the dice, whatever numbers came up, that's how many that's how many hits you made, you got to roll for. And if a jam came up, then it stopped. But if you rolled 3 jams, the weapon was done. Couldn't do anything. And I was rolling them, I was showing them what they meant. And I go, but if you roll 3 jams, then you got a problem. But how often does that happen? And I rolled the dice and 3 jams came up. So,
right up your alley. Yes, David, you've got it right. Technique, technical practice, more practice. Did I say practice? And
yeah.
then bam. Yeah.
When
you have those breakthroughs with painting is like such just a flood of like, oh my God, this is how it's done. And you just kind of like.
I have a different reaction. I'll go, oh my God, how did I do that again? I'm going to replicate it now? Oh, wait a minute.
Can I repeat the process? Well, that's
the one that drives me crazy is when I try to freehand a symbol that has to be on both sides of the vehicle. And I'll freehand one, it's brilliant. And then I'm like, crap, now I got to duplicate it on the other side. And they never match. That's the problem. They never match.
Twilight 2000. Love Twilight 2000.
Yeah, I haven't played it forever, but anyway.
Well, they got a new version now. Pre-League got the license. And
fantastic.
A new version. It's all right. I like the old version. All right, so we're about wrapped up for breakfast. All right, buddy. Well, we're getting ready to make breakfast ourselves. Nice seeing you again, Don.
Absolutely, Don.
Keep painting.
Take care of yourself, buddy.
Want to see if Jeff run Warhammer 40K OG 2nd edition tourney. Right, Red Orcs. We will be back next week.
Yep.
for the most
I
part,
gotta have one.
unless power goes out or the internet goes away.
Yeah, or I have some other kind of health thing come up, but we should be good.
That's just a reality of life.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Everybody keep painting, keep doing. Andy and I are going to a fabric store today. So yeah.
Have fun.
She's into sewing now. So
Well, there you go.
She's making all kinds of stuff. But
well, you can't. You have to understand it as often as you and I change what we do.
It's probably where we get it from, or we've
absolutely.
Pop Tarts and join Mike and Jeff next week. Yes, fruity apples. I love fruity apples.
Yep.
All right, so we'll be back next week, everybody. Have a great weekend. Be safe, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Hey, guys.